What's up guys, Austin here. Now, if you guys have been following me on Facebook or Twitter, you guys will know that I have finally passed the 500 subscriber mark. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos, for liking them, for subscribing and sharing to your friends and all that stuff. On my Facebook, I posted an idea that I had once I would reach and pass that threshold of doing either a Blu-ray collection or a game system collection video. 95% of you said Blu-ray collection. So, in return, here they are. Now, for some reason the shelf doesn't come all the way out. I don't know why. By the way, not every movie in this shelf is a Blu-ray. Most of them are DVDs, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go from left to right and go all the way down for the Blu-rays at least. So, let's get started, shall we? God, there's a lot of fucking Blu-rays. My dad got it. It's The Passion of the Christ. It's a very dark and very hard film to watch, especially if you're very religious, because this is basically about the last hours of Jesus Christ's life and just that torture scene for when they're just hitting him. So, God, it's just brutal stuff, and Mel Gibson directed it. It's a great film. Alright, now on to this section. Now, I saw this movie in IMAX 3D when it first came out, and honestly, they blow me away, but now that I kind of look at it, it's really not that good because, yeah, I'm just gonna say it. It's Alice in Wonderland, the Tim Burton version. Now, the first time I saw this film, it was really good. I thought it was. I saw it in IMAX 3D. The experience was incredible. I loved it when I first saw it. I think I was maybe a junior or a senior in high school, I believe. And I loved it, but watching it now, I mean, it's good still, but it's not as, like, oh my god, amazing as it used to be. This was number 5 in Alex's top 5 science fiction films. This is a James Cameron film. This is Avatar. I saw this film twice in theaters. The first time I saw it was on opening day, and then the next time I saw it was in IMAX 3D with my dad. It's definitely one of the best theater experiences I've had. The story is good, but it's really the visuals that really suck people in. Really, it's the visuals that really push special effects epics to just a bar that almost cannot be reached. That is until Life of Pi, Prometheus, and Pacific Rim came out, but otherwise, it's a great science fiction film. I would highly recommend it. This is one of my favorite comedies, and of course, it's one of my favorite science fiction films. It wasn't in my top 5, but it's definitely in my top 10. It's Alex's number 2, and that is Back to the Future every single way. Is it? Yeah, it's the trilogy. Yep, the 25th annual trilogy. The Back to the Future films are masterpieces. The first one, at least. The second one was good. The third one, I liked how they try and go in the Wild Wild West perspective. It's fantastic. Robert Zemeckis directed all of them, and he does such a phenomenal job. It's a fantastic trilogy altogether. If you haven't seen Back to the Future, what are you doing? And you guys may be surprised I don't have the first film in the series, but I'm working on getting a copy. But since I don't have the first one, I'll start with the second one. It's Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. I absolutely love this film, particularly because of Heath Ledger as the Joker. He's probably the best Joker I've ever seen live action on screen. Just the way he performs his character is just, it's mesmerizing. I'm getting a brain high just talking about it. I love The Dark Knight trilogy. If you guys remember, it's my second favorite trilogy of all time. If you guys have not seen The Dark Knight, which rock have you been hiding under? Watch this shit, seriously. And of course, I have to have The Dark Knight Rises. Again, it's a fantastic conclusion to the trilogy. I saw this 4 times in theaters last year. I saw it twice in IMAX, and I saw it 2 times regularly. I got this as a Christmas gift, actually, from my boss at We Live Film. It's absolutely outstanding. It was one of the best film-going experiences of my life as well. Just everyone in the audience was just, you know, raving up. Everyone was clapping, cheering. If you haven't seen the Dark Knight trilogy, it's one of the best trilogies ever. I'm working on getting Batman Begins in this collection, but otherwise, if you have not seen The Dark Knight Rises or even Dark Knight, please, I highly recommend them, even if you're not a Batman fan. Another Batman film, it's Tim Burton's Batman. I love Tim Burton's Batman. It's a fantastic one. Michael Keaton does a fantastic job, and Jack Nicholson, oh my god, he was amazing. It's a fantastic film. Tim Burton's Batman is amazing. If you have not seen this film, you need to watch it. There's just no excuse if you haven't seen it. It's Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, yeah, I know. Blockbuster shit. I apologize. It's just fantastic. Again, it's another Tim Burton film. It's fucking Beetlejuice. If you have not seen Beetlejuice, watch it. This is my top 3 Tim Burton films, that's for sure. If you have not seen Beetlejuice, you need to watch it. I have not seen this film personally, but it's Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. I have not seen it. I think my brother Alex, or April90, got this. I still have not seen it. I'll have to check it out. Yeah. Another film in the collection I have not watched. Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Alex, what's this doing in the collection? This is one of the funniest comedies I've ever seen in my life. It is Blazing Saddles. It's Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks is fucking hysterical in his humor. I love Spaceballs. It's hysterical. It's Mel Brooks. If you haven't seen Blazing Saddles, you should definitely check it out. It's fantastic. Don't count concert ones. Sorry. This is a James Bond film. It's my favorite Bond film. It's Casino Royale. Daniel Craig does a fantastic job as Bond. He plays the Bond that we wanted to see. He's like a combination of Sean Connery and Timothy Dalton's James Bond. The Blu-ray transfer also looks spectacular. If any of you guys aren't James Bond fans, are actually for once trying to get into the franchise, I would either recommend watching this movie, GoldenEye, or Skyfall to get you started, because those to me are some of the best Bond films right there. The next Bond film in the collection is, I have Thunderball, a Sean Connery Bond film, Thunderball. This is a fantastic Bond film. I haven't seen this in a while, so I'll have to watch it again very soon, but remember, it was fantastic. If you haven't seen a Sean Connery James Bond film, you definitely should, because they are fantastic. Another Bond film, Diamonds Are Forever. This is one of Alex's favorite Bond films. It is definitely a fantastic Bond film. Another Sean Connery Bond film. Sean Connery and Daniel Craig, to me, are the best Bonds. I can't decide which one's better out of the two. Another Bond film. This is one of the Pierce Brosnan Bond films. In my opinion, the only good Pierce Brosnan ones, because after this one, they sucked. GoldenEye. The rivalry between Bond and Alex Trevelyan, aka 006, is one of the best rivalries I've ever seen. Anyway, it's a fantastic Bond film. I highly recommend it. Next Bond film, another Sean Connery film, From Russia with Love. Haven't seen it in a while, but remember, it was fantastic. Another Sean Connery Bond film, and in my opinion, one of the best ones, and one a newcomer should probably get started on with the first, is Goldfinger, a fantastic Bond film. Love this Bond film. It has a great villain. It's a great Bond film. If you haven't seen Goldfinger, highly recommend it. One of the best comedies. This was in my honorable mentions. Caddyshack. It's Caddyshack. It has a fantastic cast. It's directed by Harold Ramis, who you know is Egon in Ghostbusters, and that gopher, little bastard. This is definitely a fantastic drama. If you have not seen this film, it's a Tom Hanks film. It's another Robert Zemeckis film, Castaway. This film almost brought me to tears. If you haven't seen Castaway, it's a great drama. I would highly recommend it. You guys remember last year when I did my top 10 best and worst of the year? This is my number 10 favorite film of 2012, Chronicle. Blew me away when I first saw it. Just how it kind of reinvented the found footage formula, how they used the telekinesis to bring found footage into a new way was just mind-blowing in that final fight scene at the end. An Arnold Schwarzenegger film, End of Days. I've seen Nostalgia Critic's review of it. It made it look stupid as can be. I have not seen it. I just have it in my collection. Next film in my collection, this is one of the best musicals I've ever seen. It's an animated film. Fantasia and Fantasia 2000, it's both of them. I love this film so much, but Night on Bald Mountain is my favorite. Definitely check this film out. It's beautiful. This film, it's a horror film. It's one of those crossover films. No, it's not Alien vs. Predator. Just a fun horror film to watch. It's Freddy vs. Jason. I love Freddy Krueger. I love Jason Voorhees. I love both the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Just to see them just beating the living shit out of each other. And now they incorporate a storyline. I actually really like the storyline behind it. How everyone forgot about Freddy. It was a great idea, actually. Another comedy film in the collection. Yeah, this is definitely not in alphabetical order. I apologize. A Mel Brooks film, Young Frankenstein. That's Mel Brooks. You cannot go wrong with Mel Brooks. This is a Neil Blomkamp film. His first film, no, not Elysium, not that film. I'm talking about District 9. This was just a fantastic directorial debut. But this is just a fantastic science fiction film altogether. Just the storyline to it, the direction to how it kind of looks like a documentary, but at the same time it's not. Just the way how it's shot, the acting, the special effects. You can't go wrong with Dodgeball. It's so funny. We're better than you, and you know it. I would definitely check it out. It's definitely a stupid comedy, but it's one of the best stupid comedies, that's for sure. I love this franchise. It's the Fast and the Furious, the first one. I don't think I have any other Fast and Furious film. Oh well. This is my favorite film of the franchise now. I love Fast and Furious 5, and I definitely had a fun time with Fast 6, but I don't know. To me, you just can never beat the originals, and I don't know, I love the storyline. This is probably the only good film that Rob Cohen directed, you know, Alex Cross. It's just good, what can I say? It's Fast and the Furious. One of my favorite films of all time, Ghostbusters. If you haven't seen Ghostbusters, there's a rule out there that if you are a movie buff, you need to watch Ghostbusters. It's a fantastic film. Now, yeah, the special effects may be dated today, but still, if you have not seen Ghostbusters, please, for the love of God, check this movie out. It's fantastic. This is a movie I still have to see. From what I've heard, it's one of the best films of all time. It's probably the longest film of all time, Gone with the Wind. I have not seen it. Do not come at me. Yeah, it's 233 minutes. This is longer than Seven Samurai, for God's sakes. And yeah, I've seen Seven Samurai. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a masterpiece. I don't know really much about this film. Next on the list, Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee. This is a very fantastic film. I have seen it, but it's been a long time. The next film in my collection, it's a Christmas movie. It's a dumb Christmas movie, but nostalgia just comes out. That's the reason why I love it. Jingle All the Way. Turbo Time! It's Jingle All the Way and a young Anakin Skywalker. It's a fun movie you can watch for Christmas with your kids if you have kids. I'd rather have these ones like pretty much all together. Now, I am missing one in this collection. I don't know how I am, but here we go. Well, not all Harry Potter films, but almost all of them. Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, which is my favorite one, Goblet of Fire, I love it, Order of Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and Deathly Hallows Part 2. I'm missing Deathly Hallows Part 1, I don't know how I am. The Harry Potter franchise in general, it's my second favorite book to film franchise ever, next to Lord of the Rings. I remember before every Harry Potter film came out, I read the book before every film came out. I love these films. I hold these films so dear to my heart. I need to get Deathly Hallows Part 1. I don't know how I don't have it. Don't come at me, please. But the almost complete Harry Potter collection on Blu-ray. If you have not seen the Harry Potter films, watch them. Next one in the collection, it's one of the funniest comedies ever. It's very raunchy. It's definitely a guy movie, for sure. The Hangover. This is the only one that's good in that so-called trilogy that they had to make for God knows what reason. This is the funniest one. Fuck 2 and fuck Hangover Part 3. It's a fantastic film. It's utterly hysterical. The first time I saw it, I was gut-busting laughing so hard. It's one of the raunchiest comedies I've ever seen, too. If you haven't seen The Hangover, if you're a guy, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's hilarious. This is a video game-based movie. When I first saw it, I thought it was really good, but now that I see it, it's pretty bad. It's Hitman. Yeah, I wanted to see this in theaters when it first came out, but I was too young. First time I saw it, I was like, oh my God, whoa. The second time I saw it, I was like, huh. But I mean, Timothy Olyphant, I mean, he looks like a good Agent 47, that's for sure. He pulls off Agent 47, but everything else, I don't know why. This was a movie based off a graphic novel, and it's fantastic. It's made by David Cronenberg. Highly recommended. A History of Violence. It's fantastic. I love Viggo Mortensen's performance. I need to get Lord of the Rings on Blu-ray. I don't know why I haven't done that already. David Cronenberg does a great job of directing this film. The twist that happens, I think, halfway through the film, I totally did not see coming. It's fantastic. I would highly recommend you watch this film. Just be ready. It's pretty fucking bloody. That's all I can say, but it's fantastic. I don't have the first one. I don't know why, but I have the second one. Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows. I think this is a great sequel. Robert Downey Jr. nails it again as Sherlock Holmes, and Jude Law again nails it as Dr. Watson. It's not as good as the first one, but it's still a great thrill ride. I'd definitely check it out. I have no idea what the hell this movie is, but it's a movie called Hosier. I don't get mad at me, but it's a sports movie apparently because it says sports, best sports movie ever made. I beg to differ, but I haven't seen it, haven't heard of it. Hosiers. Oh God. Why is this in the collection? It's King of the Crystal Skull. Where's Raiders? Where is Raiders? Well, that's just fucking great. I happen to have King of the Crystal Skull, but not the other ones. I'm ashamed of myself. I remember when I first saw it, it was a terrible theater experience. Fucking kids were kicking in the back of mine, my brother's, and my dad's seats. We had to move to the very front of the theater, which was so uncomfortable. This is definitely the shit stand out of all of them. You guys know I had to have this film. This is one of my favorite films of all time. This is one of the films that inspired me to become not only a film director, it's Inception. It's fantastic. If you have not seen Inception, Now, I know a lot of people that have seen Inception that don't like it because they try to be too complex. I know one person, one of my best friends, just the way how it deals with dreams. Christopher Nolan is a fantastic filmmaker, a fantastic science fiction film, and a heist film. It's just, you need to see this film if you haven't seen it. I don't care if you don't want to see it, you have to watch it. Please. For me at least. Now, these films are going to present together. First, Matrix, one of the best science fiction films I've ever seen, one of my favorite films of all time. It's fantastic. Matrix Reloaded, not as good as the first Matrix, but it's definitely still a very good science fiction film, even though that cliffhanger was just... And then, Matrix Revolutions. Such a disappointing conclusion. The Wachowski brothers set up a great trilogy with Matrix. They didn't do as good with The Matrix Reloaded, and they fucked it up with Revolutions, even though the only good part was the build-up to that fight scene, and that was it. That was all we got. And the Animatrix, I've seen the 2 or 3 of the segments. They're really good from what I've seen. I'll have to watch the rest of it, but I would, if you're a fan of anime, I would definitely recommend this. It's fantastic from what I've seen. I've not seen this in a long time. I'm not sure if I even have seen it. It's Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World. It's with Russell Crowe. My dad watched it. I think didn't it win an Academy Award for Best Picture? I don't know. I think it was nominated. I know that. Next up, one of the best science fiction comedies, Man in Black, the first one. Thank God, not 2 and 3. Well, 3 was good, but 2, don't bring that up. It's a fantastic science fiction comedy film. It's funny, it's action-packed. I wish I could have seen this in theaters when it came out. I really wish I could have. One of my favorite musicals of all time. This was not directed by Tim Burton, but was produced by it. It was made by Henry Selick. It is The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is just fantastic. It's one of the best musicals I've ever seen. The stop motion is fantastic. The singing is incredible. And Halloween in general. Come on, how Halloween is trying to take over Christmas. I love Halloween more than Christmas, so this definitely reaches out to me as well. It's so good. Mike Judge film, another funny comedy, Office Space. This is a fantastic comedy. It's hysterical. Peter, what's happening? That would be great. Thanks. Fucking Lumberg. If you have not seen it, definitely check it out. Next one in the collection, Patton. It's a fantastic war film about General Patton. It's been a while since I've seen it, but remember, it was so good. The Blu-ray transfer does look fantastic in this film. George C. Scott does a fantastic job of portraying General Patton in the film. The reason why I'm giving some vague descriptions is because it's been a while since I've seen most of these films. This is a classic romance film. Even though it's not in my top 5, it's definitely in my top 10. The Princess Bride. You cannot go wrong with The Princess Bride. It's a classic. He killed my father. Prepared to die. And the fact that Andre the Giant is in this film, need I say more? 2 years ago, this was one of my brother's favorite films. It's real steel. It's definitely a very good boxing film. My only problem with it is that it was way predictable. Like, I saw things coming from like a mile away. Even though the robot boxing in the film is fantastic. It was basically Rock'em Sock'em Boxers, the movie. Now, this is not really a film, but I don't know why I pull it out. It's riff tracks. These guys in general, they're hysterical. If you have not seen a riff tracks performance, I highly recommend. I've been to 2 of them. Actually, no, 3. I've seen the Reefer Madness commentary, Jack the Giant Slayer, Jack the Giant Killer, whatever. And I was at the Starship Troopers. These guys are absolutely hysterical. If you have not seen a riff tracks event, I'd highly recommend you guys watch one. They're hysterical. This is one of the Pirates of the Caribbean films. I don't know why I have this one and not the first one, but it's Dead Man's Chest. It's still a very good Pirates of the Caribbean film. Seeing Davy Jones the first time was great. And seeing the Kraken, whoa. I remember the first time I saw it was in Orlando with my dad and my brother. We saw it in a huge IMAX theater. It was all themed and everything. It's not as good as the first Pirates. It's definitely a very good Pirates film. This is one of my favorite films of all time. This is my favorite comic film of all time. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. The first time I saw this film, I was just in awe. Edgar Wright, who's one of my favorite directors. Every single film that Edgar Wright has done, I have loved. Married with Wednesday as Ramona Flowers. I think that's where my weakness for redheads originated from, because of Ramona Flowers. It's a movie that gave me a cinegasm. This one, I mean, it's a good animated film. I would recommend it for kids. It surfs up. I think it's a good movie. It's a good kids animated film. Talladega Nights. I want to go fast. Oh god, the cougar scene. If you haven't seen Talladega Nights, I recommend it for sure. Terminator, the very first one. It's one of the best science fiction films ever. It's in my top 10. Or top 15. James Cameron thinks this is his first film, but Piranha 2 was his first film. Yeah, I know, James Cameron. I know what you first did. Don't hide that away. I know you did it. Terminator Judgment Day. To me, it's a masterpiece. I absolutely love this film. It's one of the best science fiction films I've ever seen. And of course, the worst out of all of them, Terminator Salvation. I mean, I enjoyed the visual effect. Christian Bale does a good job of being John Connor. Sam Worthington does a good job as well. McG did this one. I don't know. Fuck McG. Don't watch this movie. Watch either these two or even Terminator 3 Rise of the Machine. It's a good action film to watch. Another great science fiction film, Total Recall. Not that fucking remake. Consider this a divorce. It's Total Recall. What can I say? This is the film that treated MMA right. Warrior. This was one of my favorite films from 2011. This movie really showcased Tom Hardy and proved that he would kick ass as Bane, and he sure did. I cried at least once, maybe twice in the film. It's a fantastic Pixar film. I absolutely loved it. It's WALL-E. The first time I saw it was actually one of my film appreciation classes, believe it or not. And I loved it. It's so good. Now this is another animated film. It's a Rob Zombie film. This is definitely, I think, his worst animated film. It's fucking weird as can be. It's The Hunting World of El Super Beasto. This was a movie that I was looking forward to because, I mean, I love Rob Zombie's style. He has a very different style, but this one is just weird. He basically described it as Scooby-Doo, but it was filthy, and if they were having sex all the time. He was not kidding. It's a weird movie. If you're into weird films, then give it a watch, I guess, but other than that, probably stay away from it. It's one of those films that has wrestlers in it. It's a movie called River of Darkness. My brother probably got it. Don't know why. Not talking about. I haven't seen it. Guys, that is my Blu-ray collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video for my 500 subscriber video, guys. Again, thank you so much for everything, for subscribing. I have 2 more videos coming out this weekend. I hope you guys enjoy them. My review of Don John's coming out, and a video that I think you guys are going to really appreciate. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the collection, and until my next video, I'll see you guys next time.
Seriously, do it. Do it. Do it.